Hey guys, sorry for the radio silence over the last little bit. I know I was doing so well posting a video like every other day for like a week and then nothing again. I've been really busy trying to get this album finished. This is of course that Hello Fall album that I showed you on probably the last work in progress Wednesday. It's finished now, finally. I need to stop making such giant projects. Like, I love making them, they're fun, I'm really proud of them when they're done, but I am a slow crafter and it takes me a long time to do these big projects. I didn't get this finished until like October 11th, so I've missed a solid week and a half of Halloween crafting, trying to get this thing done. So I'm going to try and cram a bunch of small Halloween projects in the rest of this month. Nothing gigantic like this, unfortunately. So this is the, like I said, the Hello Fall album I made with the Happy Fall paper pad by Craftsmith. It was a Hot Buy paper pad at Michael's a year or two ago, and I'm really proud of how it turned out. I remember when I showed you initially, I told you this was like a 8 3/4 size album. The pages are 8.5 by 8.5, and the spine is like 2.5 inches, and I was like, oh no, the spine's too big. I'm not going to be able, it's not going to be as chunky. I'm not going to need this closure that I made. Well, it got chunky. Yeah. Once I finished decorating and everything, it got good and chunky, and I'm actually really happy with it because it sits a lot flatter than my other albums have. Once I started decorating my other albums, the pages started to bulge. I think I need to start working with some thicker cardstock as I run out of this thinner stuff. The stuff from my collections, especially the white paper I found, is really thin. The craft paper and some of the like darker colored papers are thicker. I guess it just has to do with the ink or the dye or whatever that's in the paper, but yeah, I need to start making mini albums with thicker paper, I think. But this turned out really well as far as sitting flat and not getting too bulgy and like awkward looking. So I will show you what I made here, obviously. I do have this ribbon closure on there. I'm not very good at tying bows though. I did trim it a little bit from the last time you saw it. I didn't quite need that much. So if you open it up here, the inside cover here is, it's got double pockets, and I just put some cut aparts on some craft paper and stuck it in there because basically I didn't really have space for these, and some of these are more like journaling cards anyways. Like this one's got whole space to write on, so same with this. So I just did that with some of the cut aparts that I figured would work well as embellishments or what have you. Then here we have just a flip up. I've mentioned this before, I have trouble embellishing the mini albums that I make because I feel like I want to give someone that was going to use the album all the space that they need to put photos and whatever else. So I've seen some really amazingly embellished mini albums, but I just can't bring myself to do that yet. But so this is just, I'm just letting the paper speak for itself. It's just got phrases on it about fall. I punched out some circles and stuff from a paper you'll see later that was like alphabets. It was like a full alphabet, and there was like a little fall embellishment on each letter. And it's cute paper, but there's only 2 pages, so there's only so much you can spell with it. So I just kind of use it as a background paper, and then I cut out or punched out the embellishment parts off of the paper later. So that's what we did here with this, and this is just over the magnet, and I actually got magnets to work this time. So that's the page on the inside. I do have this little punched out acorn that I got on Happy Mail, and it flips up so you can slide something underneath. And we just have the top flap there. I just have a chipboard glitter pumpkin here, and that's all I did with this. Over here, this is just, I let the paper again speak for itself because it's got this ridiculously adorable deer right there. I felt like if I put any more embellishments, it would leave less room for photos. And then on this side, I just used the other part of that same paper where there's a leaf there, and I just made a belly band with a little, using one of the cut aparts as a stopper, and then again just put some 4x6 photo mats in there. Unfortunately, I didn't have blue cardstock that really matched this. Like this is like a grayish, greenish blue, and I don't have anything like that, so I just tried my best to put something similar in there. Don't know how well it worked, but I tried. And then on the pages that have the belly band on them, I made it into a pocket, and in the pocket I have a 5x7 photo mat. Nothing on the other side, but and I just made like a little tab using the cut aparts just as a pull bit, and I put a different cut apart on the back just so you have something, you don't have just plain craft sticking out when you flip the page. So I did that for this 5x7 photo mat. When you flip it over, we have a 4x6 waterfall with a little closure. This is my first time making a closure for a waterfall, and I didn't do it quite right, I just used, this is actually from the cover, because it's a little bit sturdier. I just wanted the cut apart images that was on the cover of the pad. And then I didn't quite do this right. I should have put more paper like to overlap here, but instead I just ended up like cutting a Velcro piece in half, but it still works. I didn't want to use magnets because these magnets are pretty strong that I have on the big flaps, and I didn't want to like have things sticking to each other, so I just did Velcro for that. And then again, we just have the 4x6 flip ups here, again with some of the not quite coordinating cardstock, but what are you gonna do? Just to pad it out, and I think there's 6 for each. Well, again, there's room there as well. So it actually turned out pretty good. I'm pretty proud of that, despite the lack of coordinating cardstock. And then on this side, I just put pockets. This was again the same paper that was over here with this corner. And I didn't want to have the same thing twice, so I just covered it with a cut apart. And then again, just have some more 4x6 photo mats there. And then I think I mentioned this in my Work in Progress Wednesday when I was first making the album, the base pages. I took a cue from Project 39 mini albums and essentially have like 3 signatures, and then they kind of, what's on each page repeats. So we're in the repeating section now. So I just have this page here with a little bit of embellishment. This leaf was from my stash. Again, you can lift it up to stick stuff under it. Same with over here. This is a little more snug, but you can still slide something underneath it. On this side here, again, we got another flip up, a little embellishment. And this one I just embellished this page because these 2 pages on the top and bottom are quite busy. So I didn't want to embellish them at all. And then of course the paper in the middle is also much more plain than the paper on the bottom and the top. So again, I just have a cut apart, you can stick something under it, a leaf, I think you can stick stuff under this too. Yeah. Now this is the paper I was talking about, where it's the letters. Again, because it's just 2 pages of the alphabet, you can really only spell limited things, and then you're stuck with all these other letters that you, like, what do you do with them? So I'm just like, you know what, I'm just going to use it as a background page, because, I mean, you cover it with photos, you'll still get the gist of what it is. So I did that with, I did like this for the top half of the alphabet for one page and the bottom half from the other page on this side. So again, on this side, we just have a belly band, a stopper, and some more 4x6 photo mats. This is also the pocket that has the 5x7 photo mat in it. And again, we've got the 2 little tabby bits there. And on this side, we have another 4x6 waterfall. Again, this is just an image from the cover. And again, you can just flip the closure. This was a little easier to have coordinating cardstock with. So, again, just alternating patterned paper and coordinating cardstock. And then here, this was from that plain page over here. When you flip that up, it was like a ledger paper with a decoration down the one side with a phrase and a picture of an owl. So I used the phrase for one of my little pockets here, tuck spot type things, again with some 4x6 photo mats. Then we have a plain page here with a leaf that you can get. Again, it's a little stiff because it's cardstock, but you can slide stuff underneath it, like so. And we have another, again, flip up with a magnet and this adorable hedgehog from that alphabet paper. And then here I just embellished with a cut apart. Again, you can slide stuff underneath it. I didn't put anything on this page. And on this side I just have another cardstock leaf that you can stick stuff underneath. This side here I embellished a little bit more because it's kind of a plain paper. So I just used some scraps of border strips that I used elsewhere in the album, plus some cut aparts. And again, you can slide that up and get stuff underneath it. Same with this one. This is my favorite belly band page because I love this fox. So I use this fox border strip and then just a cut apart. And then again, we have 3 different 4x6 photo mats there. And then we have the last 5x7 photo mat. And again, with the 2 coordinating cut aparts as tabs. This is the last 4x6 photo waterfall. Again, I was running out of brown patterned paper at this point, so we had to work with what we had. And again, this is another piece from the cover. And then here we have the last part of that paper with that had the Beauty of Fall colors on it. The bottom was this owl, so again I just used it as a tuck spot. A couple more 4x6 photo mats there. And the last page we have the same paper that was on the first flip out in the front, and again just a big glitter leaf there. Where's the... I swear, you can flip them up, see? And then again in the back we have the same double pocket with a couple more cut aparts / journaling cards. Again, just to have stuff to embellish with, journal on, whatever the owner of the album would like to do. I had 2 of these. I wasn't sure how else I was going to use them, so I just put them both in the album. And then we have the back cover here. And it's the same paper on the spine as well. You can't really see, but that's the spine. Same thing. And yeah, that is my ginormous mini album using the Happy Fall paper pad. Like I said, it's about 8 3/4 by 8 3/4 with a 2.5-inch spine. The pages inside are 8.5 by 8.5. I'm very proud of how this came out. I just wish it hadn't taken me so freaking long to do. I have 1 full sheet of paper from the paper pad and then a whole bunch of scraps, cut aparts, that kind of stuff. I'm going to pause on completing that project, finishing up that paper pad for now so I can focus on Halloween stuff, because basically all I've got enough paper for from this paper pad is to just make a bunch of cards and stuff. So I will do that in November. Maybe I'll just spend November making cards and make fall cards and Christmas cards all month, I don't know. But I'm going to take a pause on this project because, like I said, this took me so freaking long that I missed out on a bunch of Halloween crafting time, so I'm going to focus on that now. And gonna try and, like I said, pump out some smaller projects so I don't have just one giant album that I'm showing to you in mid-November. So that's all that rambling to show you that. I will be back with more fall projects in November to finish off that paper pad and get it out of my life. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Please give it a share, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to click the little bell in the corner to be notified when I next upload a video. If you want to check out my Instagram or the Facebook group, they are linked below, as well as ways to support the channel. And I will see you guys in the next, hopefully Halloween-y video.